A man is repairing a car when he makes a terrifying discovery. As the paint peels off, the metal underneath begins to shine like gold. As he rubs harder, the gold on the car door becomes more visible. Unsure, he immediately opens the hood and rubs it harder. Only then does he realize that the old, junk-like second-hand car he bought is made entirely of pure gold. This sudden good fortune drives Leg crazy with joy. He immediately repaints the exposed parts to avoid suspicion. Then, he cuts a small piece of the exhaust pipe and decides to test the purity of the gold. He gets a gold ring made and takes it to a pawn shop. Seeing the condition of the ring, the shop owner assumes he's poor and examines the gold rather rudely. But when the report comes back, he's stunned, as it's the purest gold available on the market. The owner asks where the gold came from. Nervously, Leg lies, saying he found it lying around somewhere. Unable to inquire further, the owner takes his phone number and says, "I'll buy all the gold I need and pay the highest market price music." As soon as he gets the money, he takes it. He goes straight to his girlfriend, Anna. Anna had already broken up with him because she considered him a failure. But seeing the huge amount of money melts her heart again. Together, they start spending money lavishly. But little did they know that the area's most dangerous mafia gang was after this gold, and the pawn shop owner was actually one of their own. The real story was that, before his death, the mafia boss had converted all his ill-gotten gains into gold and invested it in a car. His men only knew that the treasure was somewhere, but no one knew where the gold was hidden. This brought Sardar's grandson away under their suspicion. Mafia Don's men wanted to extract information about the treasure from him, but Away didn't really know anything. Thinking him to be a liar, they brutally tortured him and cut off one of his toes with a hydraulic cutter. To show his gratitude, he went to give some money to the owner of the old car. But on his way back, he accidentally runs into some mafia men. Sensing danger, he flees. The mafia can't reach the car, but his poor old boss isn't so lucky. Meanwhile, a former loyalist of the chieftain arrives just in time. Away, desperate for help, runs across the road. But, as luck would have it, a panic leak accidentally hits him with his car. Terrified, he drags Away into the woods. He puts some money in his pocket and plans to leave. Suddenly, he gets a call from the owner of the old car. Leg quickly tries to hang up, but the cold, menacing voice from the other side sends shivers down his spine. She gives it to him, because the phone is now in the hands of the mafia. They already knew from the mortgage deal done earlier in the day that all the gold is now with Leggy. Meanwhile, Off, lying nearby, regains consciousness, and in the chaos, the phone call is disconnected. The angry black gangster kills the unfortunate man without a second thought. Meanwhile, Leg catches the fleeing Off and throws him to the ground. After a long time of persuasion, he finally manages to calm him down. Gradually, they both tell their stories, and the truth is revealed. Only then do they realize that both are targeted by the mafia because of the gold. But now, giving up the gold was impossible, so they begin to plan their escape. Leg supports the injured Away and takes him to his girlfriend Anna's house so that his wounds can be bandaged. Then, he tells Anna everything. The story of the gold car and the mafia chase. Leg wants Anna to run away with him. But a frightened Anna misunderstands that Leg has committed a serious crime. In her panic, she calls the police without thinking twice. Shortly thereafter, the police arrest them both and lock them up. However, after an investigation, no evidence is found against them, and both are released. After this incident, they no longer trust anyone. They decide that the only way out is to cross the border and flee to another country. But little did they know that the man in prison with them was actually the mafia's mouthpiece. Upon his release, he relayed the entire information to the black gang leader. Upon hearing this, the mafia boss dispatched his gang's most dangerous assassin after them. The trouble didn't end there. As the two approached the border, a tire suddenly burst on their car. Forced to do so, the two separate. Leg heads to the nearest garage to have the tire replaced, while Aw begins asking people around about how to get the car across the border. But danger awaits them both. At the only repair shop in the area, the mechanic takes advantage of the situation and demands an exorbitant price. Leg, eager to leave quickly, reluctantly agrees. But while repairing, a worker discovers a secret hidden inside the car. Greed shines in everyone's eyes. The next moment they beat Ledge to the ground unconscious. Meanwhile, when Ov asks a street vendor for help, he doesn't take him seriously. Suddenly, a police vehicle arrives. The border police are conducting random checks. The panic on the street vendor's face clearly indicates that he has a dark secret. Sensing the situation, Ov immediately uses his brain. He picks up the melons on the cart and begins praising them profusely, speaking in a broken, unintelligible foreign language, proving himself to be a foreigner. His acting confuses both the police and the cart vendor, and they leave as soon as the situation calms down. Overjoyed, the cart vendor thanks Ov and promises to help him cross the border with someone he knows. Meanwhile, in the garage, some mechanics are wondering what to do with Leger, but Leger is actually pretending to be unconscious. At the first opportunity, he suddenly wakes up and runs away. But he doesn't know that the old man, who was supposed to help Ov, is the owner of the same repair shop. That's when everyone realizes that he was one of their own. That means he accidentally hit his own car. Embarrassed, the repair shop owner apologizes and gives the car a fresh look, thoroughly disguising it. As a thank you, Ledge and Ov give him the car's gold fuel cap. Everything is going well when suddenly a car pulls up at the garage. Ov is startled by the sight and immediately hides in the car because the man who gets out is the same dreaded killer who had brutally tortured him earlier. The mechanics try to fend him off, but as soon as the man reveals his name, and everyone's faces turn pale, and they flee in fear. Surprisingly, the assassin doesn't go inside to apprehend them. Instead, he stands outside, pulls out a rocket launcher, and fires a powerful shot at a nearby building. Trembling with fear, Ledge and Ov start their car and flee for their lives, but this is the assassin's trick. The old, dilapidated car can't keep up with the speed and only takes a few moments to reach the destination. The killer catches them from behind. He pulls out a gun and starts firing continuously. Both of them panic and swerve the car. While fleeing, they accidentally reach a high cliff on the border, and the car plunges straight into the water. The killer still refuses to give up his pursuit, but then the police arrive and arrest him. Meanwhile, the gold car slowly sinks into the water. Leger and Ov panic and throw out water from the bucket. After much effort, the car drifts along the current and reaches the shore of another country.